Family Day isn't just a chance to enjoy a long weekend, it's also an opportunity to think about the values we pass on to the next generation. Beyond celebrating time together, it can be a moment to introduce important life lessons about money, patience, and planning for the future. I'm now joined by Tony Ciero, President and CIO at Caldwell Asset Management, a division of Caldwell Securities Limited, to explore how families can use this time to spark conversations about saving, investing, and long term financial thinking. Tony, thank you so much for the time today.
Thank you, Theresa.
Now, what is the history of Family Day and its significance?
Well, Family Day actually originated in Alberta back in 1990, and it didn't really become a statutory holiday in Ontario until about 2008. A funny story is I lived in Alberta in the mid 2000s, and I remember on the Friday before Family Day, I had just started working at this job about a month earlier. Coworkers were telling me, remember, don't come into work Monday because it's a day off. And I thought they were just trying to fool the new guy. But sure enough, it was the first time I heard of Family Day. But the significance, it was established as a way to strengthen family bonds and to provide a wintry break. It's particularly Alberta when the winters can get really cold. So it gives families a chance to reset and spend some time together during the middle of a cold, hard winter.
And how can we use Family Day to talk about saving and investing and help pass values from one generation to the next?
Yeah, because Family Day is about family and being together, it makes it a natural time for conversations to come about that don't always happen during one our busy lives. So the goal is to start talking to your kids at a young age about savings and how money really works and how you invested your money, made money decisions, because kids will learn. They'll learn values like being patient, discipline, and start getting the concept of long term. We've instilled that in our family, two young kids. And sure enough, yeah, we're trying to teach them as much as we can on how money decisions are made throughout the family.
And what lessons from previous generations can people share with their children about patience and long term investing?
Yeah, keep in mind, when I was growing up, it wasn't that easy to access information. There was no internet. And even access to things like as simple as a credit card or online payments did not exist. So it was more of a save first mentality and spend as you saved. So the value that was instilled in me is like, okay, I've saved some money. Now, do I really want that next item there? Really want those pair of shoes? Is there value in that? So it taught me the understanding of how money worked and the value of it because it showed the importance of saving, and you can only buy something if you had the money saved up for it.
And what advice would you have for parents who are trying to have these conversations with their kids about saving, um, but the attention span is so short and they'd rather go and watch Paw Patrol instead?
Yeah, exactly that. And that's why it's not going to be done over one period of time. And if you start the conversation, say this family day, maybe it leads to some curiosity in there. But if you have the kids understand the decisions that you're making as adult, hopefully it helps reduce when they're older the financial stress that they might go under, and we've all been there. How are we going to save enough to pay for this or pay for that? And there is a lot of stress when that is involved, so hopefully it helps the kids understand those stresses and gives them more of a freedom and independence in the future that, if my parents were able to do it this way, this is how I remember them talking about it. Maybe it gives them a little bit more comfort when they come across those situations.
And how does teaching kids to save and invest early actually support their future independence?
Well, I think if you start with a small amount and have a child understand, if you save $5 at a time because you want to buy the next pair of Jordans or this game or that, it helps them understand over time how much they need to understand and also the value of that dollar there. So overall, I think it can help again reduce that financial stress if they're trying to save in smaller increments, and also teach them, like what we do in our family. If they shovel the walk, well, they'll learn a little bit of income. So it's not going to come all the time in the form of saving allowance. They have to earn it somewhat because at a young age, they're just used to getting things, getting toys, getting gifts, getting a lot. But this will instill a little bit more of that, say, independence that they need. Okay, I need to work on it, I need to earn it, and then I can afford to buy whatever I choose to buy.
Now, we're saying at a young age, but what age would you suggest for parents to actually start having these conversations where children are going to absorb it a little bit?
Well, just to get the conversation going and how to save, I don't think there's any young age. So 8 to 10 years old, I think is a great start.
Mhm.
Now, as you're leading into the teenage years, then showing the value of money. So saving over time, compound interest, because they have a lot of that time on their hand. If you're 15 years old, you definitely have the time horizon. If you're able to save, you know, $5 here and there, $100 every couple of months and put it away and earn some kind of return, show them how the true value of money could be over a longer period of time. So I would say starting between the ages of 8 to 10, just to get the concept of saving, the value if they want the next toy. If you save this much, this is how, much you'll need over time to get this toy you want. That also will introduce at that young age the sense of like, oh, do I really want it? Because now I know how hard I've worked for this money. Do I really want that toy, or should I save for something else that I really want? So that'll give them that kind of freedom to make that decision. And then when the child gets into the teenage years, have them understand saving a little bit of time, a little bit now, over time, with the help of compounding returns, then your little bit saved can be quite a large sum over a very long period of time.
Well, Tony, thank you so much for the time and happy Family Day.
Thank you. Happy Family Day, Teresa.